Man uses three symbols to communicate: pictures, numbers, and words. The Internet uses two numbers, 1 and 0. Coders are people that can convert three symbols to two numbers and back to three symbols simultaneously. Thanks to the standards ASCII, SGML, HTML, and Unicode, they all sang off of the same sheet and are some of the richest people in the world. Tim Berners-Lee had the idea. Steve Jobs, the first server. Mark Anderson, the first image browser. And James Gosselin is the coder that tied it all together with Java. The web as we know it started when Tim Berners-Lee used a NeXT computer and the first object-oriented PC for his server to communicate with his colleagues around the world using a URL HTTP, a markup language HTML, and a URI www to share text files in ASCII. As I recall, that really wasn't a great deal in computing. And it wasn't until 1993 when Mosaic was the first browser to embed images, and that increased the popularity of the web. Bill Gates is the #1 coder, the richest American, and his code dominates today. Mark Davis and Joe Becker developed Unicode. Unicode expanded the character set, and today over 100,000 unique characters are used with over 100 scripts to communicate among 30% of the world. Larry Page and Sergey Brin used that code to translate languages. Mark Zuckerberg has the stickiest website in history, with over 14% of the world's population socializing on average over 7 hours per month, and advertisers are licking their chops with demographics and specificity available to them to sell to the individual, never ever available to them before Facebook. Today, frameworks, warehouses of applets and plugins, are used to automate semantic and stylistic coding, and content management systems provide client-side functionality to update content and analyze site activity. Today, frameworks, warehouses of applets and plugins, are used to automate semantic and stylistic coding, and content management systems provide client-side functionality to update content and analyze site activity. So where are we today? Ajax is a group of interrelated development techniques used on the client side to create asynchronous web applications, like walking and chewing gum at the same time. Ajax is not a single technology, but a group of technologies that mark up and style information for the user interaction. JavaScript accesses the DOM, dynamically displaying content to allow the user to interact with the information presented. JavaScript provides a method of enhancing data asynchronously between the browser and the server to avoid full page reloads, making it much faster. And finally, Comet is an umbrella term encompassing multiple techniques for achieving this interaction. The Comet approach differs from the original model of the web, in which a browser requested a complete page to get at a time. The browser wars are over, and all of these methods rely on features included by default in browsers such as JavaScript, rather than using non-default plugins. We are truly singing off of the same sheet.